Hello friends, my name is Aliyu Aminu Ahmed. This is the first video out of many videos that I'm going to share with you on this platform. And we are going to discuss a lot of topics relating to monitoring, evaluation, and data science. Today we are going to discuss basically the foundation of monitoring and evaluation. And then first of all, I think I will tell you the reason why I'm putting this platform up, because I feel that monitoring and evaluation is not well understood by stakeholders, both in the private sector, public sector, as well as the civil society. So, and I think advocating for monitoring and evaluation is essential for us to understand the value monitoring and evaluation is offering in management of projects, programs, and policies. So there is also a need for us to have a cadre for monitoring and evaluation in especially the public sector. And I believe monitoring and evaluation can also help us achieve our MDGs in addition to helping the policymakers themselves prove that they have done this and then they have done that and then they are learning to improve on what they are doing. So I feel monitoring and evaluation is very critical. Monitoring and evaluation is something that is very useful not only to the program implementers but also to the stakeholders that are benefiting from the programs. So I have with me here some M&E experts also to ask me some questions so I can answer for your benefit. Thank you.
Getting to understand what monitoring and evaluation is, I want to ask this question: who are your main targets for M&E as it regards to your advocacy?
Although I don't really want to use the word target, I prefer saying who are the beneficiaries, because the targets we are referring here are also beneficiaries. So let me use the word because you asked targets. So the targets here can be categorized into two, like every other advocacy. The primary audience, who are the policymakers, and the secondary audience, who are the influencers of the policymakers. So anybody that is responsible for formulating policy or implementing policy is a primary target. But sometimes getting to them can be a little difficult. So we work with other secondary audience who are the influencers, like people that are working with them, their colleagues, and so on, so that they will understand the importance and the value addition monitoring and evaluation is bringing to their policy making. So I think I would say my target are the policy makers.
So what is monitoring and evaluation about?
Well, you have asked me a very complicated, but I'll try to deconstruct the question. It's complicated because the understanding of people about monitoring and evaluation is diverse. So I will first of all look at it from monitoring and evaluation itself. Then I will look at what monitoring is all about and then what evaluation is all about. So monitoring and evaluation, as I said earlier, helps us to enhance management of our projects, programs, and policies. Then it provides information and feedback when you are implementing such policies and projects and programs. So essentially, what MIE does is, it will, if you have implemented something, then you want to show people that I have done it. So you really want to prove that you have done that thing. So to prove, you need certain things we call indicators that measures your performance to show that you have done that thing. I plan to do 10 things and then I am able to do 12. So I've actually exceeded what I targeted to deliver. So the other aspect is it also helps you to learn. As you're implementing with M&E, you will learn and then try to improve on what you are doing. So it's kind of both for transparency and accountability, as well as for you to learn and improve on your strategies.
Okay. You've spoken so much about monitoring and evaluation. So now, if we want to look at just monitoring alone, what will a layman out there or someone who really doesn't, who is not conversant with M&E, what will he see evaluation to be, sir?
Okay, let's take the monitoring first.
Okay.
So the monitoring helps us, first of all, what is this monitoring? It is kind of a continuous process, like of checking what you are doing. Like, I started this, I'm working, you keep monitoring, keep checking how you are doing during implementation of whatever you are doing. So, but we use some tools and methodologies to do that checking. So when we do that, we provide management as well as the stakeholders, people that are of interest to that thing that you are doing, whether they are within, that is internal stakeholders, or outside, the external stakeholders. So you try to check and know what you are doing. But in checking, we have certain things that we set first. We have the objectives you want to achieve. So you are now monitoring those objectives. We will discuss result chain later, but essentially you have some resources, you carry out some activities, then you try to see certain outputs from those activities, and then those things are the things you check. So the step-by-step but systematic way of checking on what you are implementing is the monitoring. Then you write reports based on those targets or indicators you have set for yourself. So when you look at it, the buzzword there is, I think, continuous. It's a continuous thing. So you keep checking from the beginning up to the end of the implementation. So that is monitoring. Then for monitoring, it will help you indicate the progress you are making. Then it helps you better understand what you are doing so that you can improve as you are implementing it. And then it also helps gather data for the time that you want to assess yourself, to know how you are faring. So that is monitoring. So we may like to know, when do you start monitoring and when do you end monitoring? From the day you start your project, you start monitoring it. Up to the day you end your project, you keep on monitoring, because it's an ongoing thing. And I will advise that since the beginning of your project, you know, in a project, no matter how complex a project is, you can deconstruct it into three components. So you have the program component, you have the financial component, you also have the monitoring and evaluation component. So you can actually deconstruct it. So from the beginning, you need to have somebody that is responsible for monitoring and evaluation. The way you have somebody that is responsible for accounting, as well the program manager, there has to be someone dedicated for monitoring and evaluation in your program or project. So you continue working with that person. The person will systematically be taking stock of what you are doing until the end of the project. But to answer your question about evaluation, so evaluation is a little bit different from monitoring, because it is something that is done at periodic time. For example, you are starting your project. So you need to understand the situation. That is why you are going to operate. So somebody needs to come and assess the situation. Because any implementation, whatever you are doing, you need to understand your situation first. Either the environmental, or your environment where you're operating, you need to scan and know, or even the stakeholders, you do some stakeholder analysis, and then you know what exactly is going on. So you do a bit of comparative advantage and say, okay, this is what is going on, and this is what I can do better to improve whatever the situation is. Usually it's a positive and forward-looking thing. Then you now come back and prioritize and say, okay, with this, these are the things that I want to do. So that is basically a pre-evaluation. So you do that at the beginning of your project or program or policy. Then as you are implementing, you also come back and check in the middle of the way. Not exactly middle. For example, if it is like 5-year program, you don't have to say, okay, I'll come back at 2.5 years. No, it's not going to be 2.5 years. Sometimes there will be trigger. Something will happen and you see you are spending resources and you are not seeing results. So because of that, you need to commission an evaluation. So that kind of evaluation is something that is done to check how far you are going in your implementation so that you will learn from it and change your strategy. So it's formative in nature. So you come and check how you are doing and then try to see if you can strategize. So if, for example, things are going fine, then middle of the way, like maybe 3 years, 2.5 years into the project of a 5-year project, you can do a midterm evaluation. So, but there is another form of evaluation. Now that you have finished your project, so that one also we come in as evaluators to check whether what you have set to do from maybe your objectives, you are able to achieve them and so on. This is called end-line or final evaluation. So but sometimes some literature may tell you that, okay, there is also an evaluation that you can do maybe after you have gone, you have finished the project. Somebody would like to come and check the impact of that project in the place or community wherever you have implemented the project or program. So that kind of evaluation is called ex post. So we have like 3 types of evaluation. Some literature can say 4, but essentially it's done at the beginning, middle, and end of the project. So I think I need to maybe clarify something. Even though you see people working on M&E, M&E officer, monitoring evaluation officer, expert, specialist, and so on. Essentially, if you are working within a project, your role is mainly monitoring role. But you can do evaluation when maybe you can do some evaluation work as an internal evaluator with your colleagues, but you need sometimes to have somebody to have a fresh look at it from an external perspective. So we can have internal evaluation within your team, but you can also have a joint evaluation, your team and somebody outside to come and help you, and then you can have an external evaluation that the person just come and design the evaluation and come and carry it out and give you feedback. So this is, I think, the monitoring evaluation.